The Dallas Cowboys is their opponent. Teddy, talk to me about this Cowboys team once you break down the line here, because you mentioned last week that the market was falling on the Chiefs, right? 3 ended up being the right number. That's how much they beat the Indianapolis Colts by, with a push. Kind of feels like the same thing here. Like maybe that hook is going, all right, Kelly, you know you like the Cowboys.
Hooks matter. They can matter. Look headline here, Kansas City -3.5. There were some 4s out there, total of 51. My powering number, Kansas City -3.5. The markets opened last night. Kansas City -3.5, total 51.5. What are we seeing today? Kansas City -3.5. We are seeing some upward movement on the total. 52 starting to pop up right now at what I would call leading indicator books. But they're still juiced 51.5 to the under at some other spots. I wouldn't argue. I'm almost tempted by saying bet this. Let's do it. We got emergency betting alerted. Let's do it. There's 51.5s out there. Doodly-oo. Sorry. It's one of those days where I really didn't know what games we were going to end up using the emergency betting alerts on.
I want to make you be the dooley from on.
Yeah. Wayne's World reference for those of you who like 90s movies. But the bottom line, or 80s Saturday Night Live skits. This total is getting bet up right now. 51.5 last night. I'm seeing 52s right now. If you like the over, Detroit, Dallas, KC on Thanksgiving Day. Thanksgiving Day, you expect to see over money. You expect to see public money. 51.5 is the best you're likely to see. If you like the over, I bet it's sooner rather than later. So Kansas City had their 6th try, and they finally won a 1-score game. Now 1-5 this year in 1-score games after winning them all last year. Prior to the win yesterday, their biggest comeback all season had been rallying from 7 points down against the Ravens in week 4. Patrick Mahomes, after that was a tough, gritty win. They were -2 in turnovers. They were 1 of 6 in the red zone. They had 42 minutes of possession. They had 91 offensive plays. It was just dink and dunk all day. First downs, Kansas City 33, Indy 10. Total yards, Kansas City 494, Indy 255. The box score much more dominant in favor of the Chiefs than the game felt on the field. And Mahomes, quote, "This is exactly what we needed to win against a really good team, and the game's not going your way. You could have folded in that situation and kind of the rest of the season, but guys responded. It was a do-or-die type thing. Guys made plays happen. All 5 of our losses felt like this game, where there were plays we could make and we didn't. You can talk about it all day, but until you prove it, it doesn't matter. We proved today that we could make the plays." Still, Kansas City, 0-3 ATS the last 3, all as short favorites like they are here. Dallas just got their first set of back-to-back wins for the season. They're 5-5-1. All of a sudden, the playoffs are a realistic option. They outgained Philly by more than a yard per play yesterday. The defense is clearly getting better for Dallas, and we thought that might be the case when they were buyers at the trade deadline. First win for the Cowboys when trailing by 3 touchdowns or more since 2014. Coach Schottenheimer, after the game, you heard me say it 1,000 times, you can't win the game in the first quarter, second, third, but you can win the game in the fourth quarter. I told them, believe in each other. Believe in the fact that we'll find a way to do it. They did. Both teams in this instance may be a little bit fat and happy for the short week.
Home Thursday night football win over the Buffalo Bills. They are taking on the Indianapolis Colts that, hey, hand up, Teddy, for a better part of 3.5 quarters of that Chiefs game. I thought, I'm on the wrong side. I don't deserve to win this game in the slightest.
Which side you have?
Well, I had Chiefs -3, so I'll gladly take the push, but good grief. I don't know if that was more of a testament to how poorly the Chiefs played, but I thought the Colts looked good for 3.5 quarters.
Yeah, I think the Colts have been a good another team. They've been good all year, and the markets haven't wanted to accept what they've seen with Indy. Look ahead line here. Colts -3.5. 46.5. My powering number came 3. The markets opened 3.5, 44.5 last night. And we're seeing 3.5/4/4.5 right now. 44.5 right now. And let's do one more emergency betting alert. Yeah. And I know my number's low on it. Open 3.5. I'm seeing 4.5 now, but there are still plenty of 3.5/4s out there. If you like the Colts, there's love for the Colts in the markets this week. I would bet Indy sooner rather than later for Sunday. The Texans had that 0-3 straight up /ATS start. They're 6-2 since. The only losses coming to Denver and Seattle. No shame there. 3-0 straight up, 2-1 against the spread the last 3 weeks with a backup QB. CJ Stroud could be back in the mix this week. The defense had 8 sacks at Josh Allen, a game-stealing interception, the number 2 in the NFL in yards per play allowed. They're leading the league in fewest points and yards allowed per game. Will Anderson off that incredible defensive showing. Quote, tonight was just a perfect example of everyone just hunting relentlessly, doing whatever it takes. Obviously, divisional showdown here. That being said, Indy, they had a bad second half. They had 5 first downs in the second half in overtime. They went 2 of 8 on third downs. They were constantly in third and long. The last first down of the game came with 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Jonathan Taylor, a non-factor in the ball game. They're out again. Kansas City had 33 first downs. Indy had 10. Total yards, 494 to 255. The D was great. They held the Chiefs to 1 of 6 in the red zone. I do worry about that defense being on the field for more than 42 minutes. 91 defensive snaps. That's a lot. And that tells me that Indy's not going to be my side on Sunday in this ball game. I'm not going to be one of those who are going to say, all right, let me find the 3.5 bet the Colts right now. I worry about a defense that's on the field for 91 snaps and what they are going to do the next week. Shane Steichen, quote, obviously very frustrating, not up to our standards today. There's a lot of stuff I wanted to call that I felt good about in the past game. We just weren't efficient doing it. It starts with me. Worth noting, the Colts are still 3-1 against the spread as underdogs. They covered yesterday for many bettors. Their only loss was the bad beat in L.A. against the Rams, the one that Tutu Atwell had the 88-yard touchdown in the final seconds when they were trying to get a game-winning field goal. They ended up getting a game-winning touchdown. So Indy has been excellent on the highway here, obviously. They're playing at home, and the early money has come for the Colts.